Sino na po ang nagbasa or nakinig sa video? Sino na po ang tumitingin ngayon, nagbabasa or nakikinig ngayon?
Ganda ko pa lang sa
Okay, so we've designated this time as the question and answer portion or time allotment for the topic on writing the research paper. I don't intend to repeat what I've already said in the lecture, but we'd just like to bring up certain points that you may want to brush up on or some practical aspects of the actual writing of the paper. Our particular focus in the lecture was writing an original research paper which you're going to do for the remainder of the course when you submit your paper and then present. Normally, what we do is we write lines given to us by the department or the institution. But when you do consider to publish it, you have to take into account the guidelines to authors of the particular journals to which you're going to submit. This is the reason why we have the addendum. It's a short module of an annotated PDF that I've provided also in addition to the videos, wherein we looked at the policies regarding artificial intelligence of two of the major publishing companies, Elsevier and Springer Nature. For the purposes of our final paper for this course, I will not go into the details of the discussions of the slides in our video.
Storage.
But for the purposes of the paper, we're going to submit to the department and also for our presentation. Please remember that first and foremost, you are expected to have a certain level of English writing skills in order for you to be able to write everything properly. And at the end of the video that I shared with you, the ending part of that gave a few practical tips on how to write particular sentences, like never start your sentence with a number, spell out abbreviations on the first use. And these are tips that are very helpful for your audience or your readers so that they can try to understand your work better. When we write our final manuscript, we do not simply follow how we wrote it down as a protocol. There should be a difference. And we'd like our final manuscript to reflect the IMRAD format that's in use when you submit to publications. The IMRAD, as you would know, will contain the introduction, the methods, the results, and the discussion. And then, of course, your conclusion should be there also, but it must be supported by the findings of your study. So never put in a conclusion that's not supported by what you found out in your study. And remember that Your final manuscript does not have to be as detailed as the protocol that you submitted before. If you're going to submit for publication, it must be in a manageable number of pages that makes it easier or gives you a better chance for being accepted for publication. In the video lecture, we've also discussed what every major part of the IMRAD document should contain, what to put, what not to put, and how to put certain things. So the introduction would contain your objectives in the final manuscript. So you probably begin with an opening argument or a discussion of why you did this research. And then you subsume the objectives in the introduction section. You do not have a specific section for objectives the way that you did in the protocol. So that's one big change. And then, of course, after that, you put in your methodology, and the methodology should also highlight your ethical aspects. Many published articles begin by talking about the ethical aspects, like the protocol for this was submitted and was approved by so and so, and then they go on to describe the methodology. Your methodology should contain enough detail in such a way that anyone reading it who might want the idea of how to proceed if they were to do such a research would be able to duplicate or replicate your research. And of course, your results, we always say that when you want to report something in the results, it must have been there in the objectives. Otherwise, you would be in no position to collect the data or to present it if it's not included in the study objectives. And then, of course, your results section, we discourage you from writing the results and the discussion sections as one section. There are many papers that are presented as results and discussion. We highly discourage that. So results should just be a dishing out of the findings of your study, the numerical findings, and the other analysis that you did. And then the discussion would do a quick concise recap of these findings, and you'll talk about them in relation to the existing literature. Do they agree? Do they disagree? Why do you think they disagree? What are the possible points of contention? And then from the findings and the resulting discussion, you come out to your conclusion. And your conclusion should not be long. It should not be protracted. It should not be made of several paragraphs, but rather at the most one short paragraph that circles back to everything that you said you want to do. So in one go, you give your answers, your results, and then what they stand for. So basically, that's what your final protocol, that's what your final paper should contain. Give enough detail for people to understand it, to ask no major questions, and then give all the necessary information that you said you would do in your study. So if you have it in your objectives, and then you write down your results, be sure that everything that you said you would investigate about, you report, even if the results are not desirable, even if they were negative, or for example, you said you're going to look for associations and then you didn't see any, you cannot withhold that. You have to report that this study found no associations. Do not fall into the trap of selective reporting or exclusive reporting in such that you only talk about or give the report of the results that you liked. Neither should you maneuver your statistical analysis so that the data will speak up the way that you want it. So basically, that's my recap of the entire material. Is there any specific question that you'd like to ask in relation with you writing your final report for the groups who are already done with their research? May mga tanong ba? Meron ng group na tapos sa kanilang research? Please raise your virtual hand. Sinong group ang nagde-data collection na? Are there any groups doing data collection already? Class, can you hear me?
Yes, Doc. For our group po, we are done na po with the data collection.
Okay. May mga nag-start na ba kayo magsulat? Hindi ba?
For our group, Doc, hindi pa po.
Okay. It's very possible na hindi nyo pa nababasa yung material kaya hindi ka nagtatanong or hindi nyo pa practically ginagawa yung manuscript nyo kaya parang hindi pa relevant yung mga information. But if you do have questions, you feel free to message us or message me, email me so that I can answer kung meron kayong tanong in relation to the material that I gave you. I know it's very difficult to ask questions if you haven't accessed the lecture yet. Thank you.
Okay. May questions pa kayo? I think you need to watch muna yung recorded lecture, no? Anyway, I think Ma'am Penny, Doc Penny Adversary is here also regarding yung topic last time. Ma'am Penny?
Yes, hello, good afternoon. If nabasa na yung lecture slides on data analysis, do you have questions on the particular test that you're supposed to use for your data? Or questions itself on the lecture? So just a recap, yung contents ng data analysis should include the name and the version of the software that you use. If you use a particular statistical software, the statistical test should be in relation or should be consistent with the study objectives. You should also indicate the p-value as well as the level of significance that you use. If you're using a measure of association like your odds ratio, your risk ratio, or prevalence ratio, you should also indicate that particular measure of association. So reminder again, because if you're using SPSS, as much as possible, just indicate the version number that we have in our institution, which is SPSS version 22. Kasi pag naglagay kayo ng ibang version and the paper gets to be presented in another conference, either locally or international, dapat baka lang ma-cite that particular version is not included or is not the one that is licensed for our institution. So even if you have to conduct or run the data in another software, basta lang gamitin yung version number ng institution natin. There were also reminders placed in the lecture slides or video lecture with regards to how the results should be presented. It should be presented in logical sequence, again, keeping in mind the study objectives. The description of the results should precede the table or the graph. And I think Dr. Atek already mentioned this, that not all of the data in the tables or figures should be in the textual description. Only the most important figures have to be cited. Meaning also there should be no duplication of data in graphs as well as in tables. Choose the most appropriate method for presenting your data. Be consistent in the number of decimal places. Hindi yung may results reported as 1, may results reported as using 2 decimal places. Your computer outputs as well as your sample size formulas have no place in the final manuscript. This is a reminder also. So any questions with regards to data analysis? If there are problems with regards to analysis, you can seek me for consult. Meron bang tanong? Ma'am Ice, wala na yata silang tanong.
Okay, ma'am. So, yun. If you have any questions, so feel free to ask, no? Naka-open naman yung discussion board, I think. If naka-close, I will reopen na lang, no? Very relevant yung lectures for today. Hopefully, no, you again, no, review na yung recorded lecture. Kasi if may question, may masabi na sana ngayon. So, if wala naman today, siguro, meron ba kayong concerns for RASPRO 2 before natin end to? Okay, may very quiet kayo anyway. Sige. Siguro that's okay na po siguro. Thank you, Ma'am Penny and Ma'am Tech po.
Thank you, Dakayla.
Thank you po.